If you were chosen, that is, by a higher power, if your hand was forced, it seems strange to me that you would get such enjoyment out of it. You enjoyed torturing those people. This doesn't seem in keeping with martyrdom, does it?
John.
I doubt I enjoyed it any more than Detective Mills would enjoy time alone with me in a room without windows. Isn't that true? How happy would it make you to hurt me with impunity?
That hurts my feelings. I would never.
You wouldn't, only because there's consequences.
2,500 years ago, in ancient Greece, a philosopher called Plato wrote a book, called The Republic, where his main character, his tutor, Socrates, debated many subjects with other thinkers, known as sophists. And in one of the chapters of that book, the second, he and the sophist Thrasymachus, talked about human nature. Socrates arguing that humans are naturally good, and when they are not, it is because they were not taught to do so. A well-known thesis as moral intellectualism, with which Glaucon disagreed, saying that, for him, human beings are not naturally good, they are bad by nature, but they behave as if they were good, appearing as good, because they are afraid of the consequences of being caught when they don't act correctly. He said, now that those who practice justice do so involuntarily, because they have not the power to be unjust, will best appear if we imagine something of this kind. Having given both to the just and the unjust power to do what they will, let us watch and see whither desire will lead them. Then we shall discover in the very act the just and unjust man to be proceeding along the same road, following their interest, which all natures deem to be the good, and are only diverted into the path of justice by the force of law. The liberty which we are supposing, may be most completely given to them in the form of such a power, as is said to have been possessed by Gyges. According to the tradition, Gyges was a shepherd in the service of the king of Lydia, who one day has discovered this particular ring, which he started to use since then. And in one of those assemblies he used to go, he discovered that if he chanced to turn the collet of the ring inwards, he instantly became invisible to the rest of the company, and while he was no longer visible, they began to speak of him. Then when he turned the collet outwards, he appeared, and immediately everybody stopped to speak of him. He was astonished at this. Suppose now that there were two such magic rings, and the just put on one of them and the unjust the other. No man can be imagined to be of such an iron nature that he would stand fast in justice. No man would keep his hands off what was not his own when he could safely take what he liked out of the market, or go into houses and lie with any one at his pleasure, or kill, and in all respects be like a god among men.